So here's Nodin, and this is day 18, and just building up on the work that I had done the day before. I had the bigger Surcingle, and I decided to come back with my kind of lower profile Surcingle to get him used to it kind of on him. So going in and reintroducing him to it, doing the touch and taking back, and he's doing pretty good, and he's not near as flinchy as he was yesterday. So giving him some good rubs and just giving him a minute to think about it. Again, I'm also keeping an eye on my student that's walking with her mare, so just trying to make sure my timing is right, so if something was to happen and he got scared, it always seems funny that timing of things can happen at the perfect moment. So that was really good. I was able to put the kind of tail end of the Surcingle on him without him kind of really bunching up through his body and being worried. There's still a little bit of worry there, but he's doing a really good job of every time I do it. I'm kind of asking for his head to go down to see if I can get that as a release. So then I'm just working on some scratches right here. And I really like how I can get a little bit of that release where he drops down through the neck. And that was really good. And I'm going to work on girthing him up. And I like to use the technique where I kind of stand right next to the shoulder, take my whole arm and go underneath their belly so they can feel me the whole time, so there's no surprise for them. And then I make sure that when I do buckle it, it's not super tight, but it's snug enough. It's not going to slip back and be a bucking strap or anything. But I'm going to ask him to move around. He handles that pretty well, so then I'm going to make it a little bit tighter. And I just do this very gradually. Just giving him a little bit of rubs here. Then I ask for him to soften his head down when I do that. And he's getting very responsive to the halter. So I'm going to get a little bit of left flexion. I'm just asking very softly, seeing if he'll follow that pressure. That was really good. I just gave him a moment there because I try to make sure. Sometimes it's very easy to you don't think you're in a hurry, but it can feel like that when you go back and rewatch. So I try to make sure I give him time to just sit there and think about it. And then now sending him forward. So again, they can be okay kind of walking around with it, something snug on them, and then asking them to move forward. Sometimes can initiate a response. And I think it's always important too. I always like to make sure my Mustangs are being treated with omeprazole, because as we know, they can come from stressful situations with the shipping, and everything's kind of changed for them. So in the training process, it can help them feel better. They start to want to eat, and it can help that sensitivity that can occur around the tummy. So I want to, again, make sure everything feels positive, feels good for them. They're going to have reactions to things because, again, they are horses sometimes. So try to do the best to give them that preparation. And I'm just asking him to kind of send forward. You see, I'm going to add the pressure. I'm going to try to get him to canter. So you're going to see I'm going to increase the pressure, directing with my right hand, and I have the tail of the rope in my left. I couldn't quite get the canter, but I kind of let him come in, and I do use voice cues. So to trot are 2 clucks, and then obviously to slow down is a ho, and then to canter is a smooch sound. So I'm just giving him a second here. I'm keeping an eye on my student over in the corner. We've got some more other horses in the training process as well. And he's actually handling all those sounds pretty good. Again, I was just working on making it a little bit snugger, and then asking him to kind of drop his head a little bit. And again, just working on getting him to drop his head to the pressure of the halter. And I'm going to send him away. And he's got a very nice walk, and I'm going to ask him to trot. Yep, and then my phone fell over. As sometimes it happens. It was a pretty gusts. We had a couple of pretty good gusts. So I decided to then come back with the flag. I'm going to do some work with the flag with him. And he's actually handling the sound of the flag pretty good. And he can be sensitive again. I kind of turned towards him, so he interpreted that as pressure. But I have to be very aware of, I want to turn off energy, even though I am making that flag sound. I kind of want him to hear it and think, oh, okay, I need to drop my head a little bit. And giving him that sense that he can have kind of control of his environment. That was a really nice response there. He gave me a little drop in his head, so I decided to give him that space there. Because anytime I can get him that where instead of his response is to stick his head up and really kind of tighten up his body, I want him to think that when he gets a little nervous, if he can put his body in a more relaxed state, he can feel better and that pressure goes off. So again, he was giving me some really good responses there. And I'm just going to ask a little bit, and then I gave a little bit of a touch with the flag. You can see how he can get a little bit tight, and then I asked for a little softening of his body. So again, helping him kind of go through when he gets tight to find where softness and relaxation can be, I think is really important for the young horses, because that's giving him a tool for when he gets nervous or if something is to scare him, and then I can help him kind of through that, then I have that to use. That's some really good responses. He's a very smart boy. I'm having a lot of fun working with him. And I gave a wave. I had a friend coming over. So I'm just giving him a moment here. And I thought that was actually some really good work with the flag and the response of kind of learning to find relaxation. And then I'm just going to finish up with a little bit of softening. And I'm not really pulling or anything very hard. I'm just having a gentle, soft touch, and he's following that with the halter. And so I thought that was a good place. And I'm going to work on taking off the Surcingle. And sometimes you have to be careful too that when you take off the Surcingle, that can make them nervous. But he handled that really well. Again, I was really pleased with this session. It wasn't super long. This is about 15-20 minute session for him. So I was really pleased with him, and he was a really good boy.
He sees the two dogs. He's like, what is that?